Huge disclaimer, don't skip past this or I'll come over there and consume your house. I wanted to put this before my intro so that there's no confusion. When I redesign OCs, I am in no way making them better. Your version, whatever you like, is the best version. These redesigns are only what would Terry do with your concepts, not improving your concepts, because look, Terry can't improve your concepts. This experience has just allowed me to design things out of my comfort zone. I usually enjoy designing people in refined business suits, so this was just a cool experiment. Once again, I do not claim to be improving your designs.
Gregory, do you see the small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent, Gregory. I know it'll be hard for you to be sus, Gregory, but I know you can do it.
Hi, Moons of Jupiter. I'm Elmushterri, and I'm never using that intro again. It's exclusive. Sorry for not uploading in a while, and just, sorry in general for having such a huge gap between all of my videos. So, I announced on my community page that I was going to be redesigning my subscribers' OCs, or designing them from text descriptions. I got loads of submissions, way more than I expected. I thought I would get 2, but I got so many, and I want to do them all in due time, but they won't all be on this video. It'll be, in between things. I'd also like to get a rewrite done next anyways, so if you have a show or a movie that you'd like me to rewrite, leave it in the comments. I'm always open to suggestions, and I've been missing doing them. And as with the last video, this video will be almost entirely improvised, so do excuse me if I come off as sounding like I'm making things up. Once again, I am. So yeah, let's see how many guitar strums I can fit into this video, and let's get into the redesigns. So this is Floral Field's character, Ellen. She is a water elemental who is mostly made of algae. I love how in the original her hair is transparent, which makes a lot of sense since algae is not completely solid. Well, I mean it is, but it isn't. I mean it's so sparse that I think we know what algae looks like. I don't know why I'm trying to explain algae to everyone. So, she was cursed as a child, hence the black on her hand. Her village wanted to turn her into a bioweapon, but she escaped and became a traveling potion maker that hides from hunters. So yeah, off the bat I wanted to include potions on her belt, and of course I had to give her a collar because we wouldn't be Elmushterri without collars on the characters. I went a sort of different route with the algae hair thing. Instead of algae straight up, I decided to make her hair look a bit more like coral that algae sits on top of, and you can see this from how I make the edges of her hair straight and blocky, sort of. And here comes the line art, and I thought the line art would be easy, but it turns out line art got hands. I don't know what it is with us artists, and the sketch looks so good, but then you come to do line art and it's just the most lifeless thing you've ever seen. So I gave her bandages on her arms in order to hide the curse thing. It's not particularly effective in my drawing because I wanted to, show off the fact that she has a cursed arm. And I also gave her leg warmers. I don't know why, I just really enjoy the look of leg warmers. You can see it in a couple of my characters on Instagram. I don't know if I actually have posted many characters with leg warmers on Instagram, but I do love leg warmers. I just realized it was literally in the last video. So yeah, I got to coloring her skin, and I originally went for the exact same color palette, but then I kind of realized that I am better suited to designing things with with vibrant colors rather than pale colors. That's just kind of my specialty. Not saying, once again, that the original design with pale colors is bad. This is just what would I do with a design. I gave her blush, but instead of being red or just blue, it's a multitude of colors. And I wanted to give her goggles because she's a potion maker. I thought that would make sense. And I love a bit of gold on a blue design. In fact, I love gold on every design. I try to include gold as much as possible in my designs that I make because gold is just a terrific accent color, and I think it works with everything, except in the next thing. So yeah, this is my version of Ellen. I hope I didn't disappoint with it, and I hope it can live up to the original design. So for the next character, I totally forgot to record the process, but thankfully Procreate already records what you do. So this is Harlan by Itssquiji, I'm not sure how to say that. He is a monster hunter from a race of sun elves. He was kicked out of his community and he had his ears cut to look human. He is Scottish, and I'm so sad that it says that he lost most of his accent, because the Scottish accent is truly beautiful to me. I didn't know what time period he lived in, took artistic liberty and put him in the Victorian age, because I love Victorian stuff, and it allows me to once again put a collar and tie on him, because This wouldn't be an Elmushterri video if nobody had a collar and tie. So I gave him a cape with this sort of embroidery on it, or it's not embroidery really, they're clips to close the cape. Wow, I just explained buttons. You may not be able to see it, but I also wanted to emphasize the fact that his ears have been cut. Instead of looking perfectly round, I wanted them to have jagged edges that only vaguely give off the shape of a human ear. Also, I love his long hair, so I had to keep that in, but I just made it a low ponytail rather than a high one, and I gave him that, ombre, I think they call it. Because I think those look so good. And I did give him his hair why am I forgetting every word in the English language? So I wanted to give him multiple shades of green, because I find that green and yellow as colors are pretty hard to work with. So I just used sort of mixes between bluish green, yellowish green. So for example, in the shirt, that would be lime colored, and then his coat would be yellowish green. Why am I explaining colors? I don't know how much I'm going to be cutting out of this explanation, but there is so much on this file of me just saying, why am I saying this? Why am I explaining this? This is why I don't like improvising. Please give me something to rewrite in the comments. So yeah, this is what I would do with Harlan. I hope I didn't disappoint, once again. So next up is Dream Bishop 18's character, Hokum the Jester. I don't know if the word trickster is part of his name or not, but yeah. He is a jester cat who uses his usually friendly appearance to lure children and steal their souls. The form shown in the original drawing is a halfway point between his friendly form and his scary form, and I wanted to do the sort of same thing but make him look a little bit more friendly. So I gave him these circular body parts, and on one side you see that I gave him claws, and on the other side he just gets regular fingers, sort of. And then I rubbed his whole body out. Terrific. I love putting characters in that pose. It makes them look a little bit more dynamic. So I gave him round limbs just to accentuate that idea of child-friendly. I ended up merging his ears and his jester hat things so that he looked a little bit more like a cat. And instead of giving him 2 stars on the end of his ears, I gave him a star and a moon because those are opposites. Also, I gave him claws on one leg and left them out on the other leg to, well, same idea. And I gave him this big, thick, raccoonish tail. Because I love raccoons and they should get more love. Once again, line art had hands. It was very hard to make everything smooth, but I think I got there in the end. I was wondering whether I should also put stripes on his tails, but I decided against that. And I wanted to give him a vest, sort of, because this wouldn't be an Elmushterri video if somebody didn't have a collar. So his shirt is entirely sewn on. It's meant to look like you're not able to remove his shirt, which you aren't, it's just part of him. And I wanted to keep the blue and yellow color palette because I love blue and yellow as opposites. I'm aware that blue and orange are opposites, but blue and yellow always stick out to me so much better, especially in cases like these. I also added orange and turquoise-ish blue. I don't know what colors are called, I'm a digital artist. I didn't know where to add those stars, so I figured it would be best to add it to his bow tie. And that sort of worked out, but then I realized I don't really know how to draw stars. So yeah, that is my version of Hokum the Jester by Dream Bishop 18. Hopefully it lives up to expectations. I don't know if it does, but this was my personal favorite to do because I am constantly creating Zelda alternate universes with my friends, so this felt no different and I could just have fun with it. This is Zelda by Alleydoesntuseinsta. She is half Gerudo in Allie's universe. Their design of her was based off of Twilight Princess Zelda, aka the best Zelda, and she doesn't have the Hyrule Royal crest on her anywhere because she's allegedly the product of an affair between the King of Hyrule and a Gerudo lady. Now, as an Arab, I have a personal bone to pick with the Gerudo and how they are represented, and how they have been represented in the past as thieves, but let's lay that to rest for now because I had so much fun designing this character. And I think a Gerudo Zelda would be a fun concept to play with. So yeah, it was actually kind of tough figuring out what kind of dress I wanted to put on her, because there are so many options out there. But I ended up going with a sweetheart neckline, some long flowy sleeves, and a corset. I also kept the Triforce earrings, because I love Triforce earrings, they're a personal favorite design aspect of mine. And rather than making her hair straight, I wanted to make it frizzy or curly just to make it clear that she is different from other Zeldas in the way of her being half Gerudo. And then after I finished struggling with the sword, I got on to lining the rest of the dress. And I didn't know whether I was going to include the Hylian Royal crest on her, But as per the original idea, she is basically a child born from an affair, so I guessed she wasn't going to be included in the royal family. I'm not sure about the whole lore thing, but it's still such an interesting idea. So I decided to darken her hair color just to contrast with her skin a little bit. And then I got on to coloring the dress. And I knew I wanted peach with purple because I miss Zelda being in purples. Plus, I'm kind of sick of Breath of the Wild because they turned Link blue. I don't know, I always had a problem with that. I know he's just wearing the champion outfit, but Link is green. Can we keep him green? Yeah, that's right, I'm a fan of the original Zelda, so what are you gonna do? I kept a little of the blue in there because I really like blue and purple and gold, because that is always a terrific color combination, and as I said, gold does show off a certain royalty rather than magicalness, that's a word. And I made sure to leave out the Hylian royal crest, so I just made some vague spirally designs, and that was it. So yeah, that is Zelda by Alleydoesntuseinsta. I know I keep saying this, but I hope I didn't disappoint. So next up is JJ Doe's character, Justice. Hope I'm putting emphasis on the right syllable. She is a mind elf and a genius, even by their standards. She usually wears sort of sci-fi-ish outfits and platform heels. So off the bat I decided to put her hair up in a bun, because I think those look sophisticated and academic. And I crossed her arms and kept her body language inward just to show a reserved aspect of her personality. And of course I had to give her her platform heels because that is a requirement for her. And then here we have me struggling with proportions. Because she's a mind elf, I decided to give her an eye in the middle of her chest, and I wanted it to look sort of sci-fi-esque because that's what she wears. And sci-fi things tend to have dark colors with neon lines, so I made sure to include those. And I also wondered whether I should be giving her a jacket or like a turtleneck-ish outfit because I wanted to combine sci-fi and dark academia, but I didn't know if that worked out. In the end, I did end up giving her a blazer because I love blazers, my closet is full of blazers, and if I was on an island by myself, all I would want was blazers. So then I got onto line art and discovered it has hands again. So yeah, I gave Justice a glove, just to... well, because she has gloves, leave me alone. And I don't know why I didn't search up a reference for platform heels. I think I should have because I've never drawn those in my life. And I had to include her glasses because in the character lore, she basically can't see even though she's a mind elf, which makes the eye on her chest even more ironic. I wanted to give her a purple skin tone instead of a gray one, just to match a little bit with the pink outfit that I'm gonna give her. And here was me filling in the dark colors of her sci-fi bodysuit sort of thing. And I gave her a dark but pale... does that make sense? A dull? You know what I mean. Then I gave her that eye on her chest. Instead of it being a hole in her shirt, I just made it a full-on bodysuit. And I wanted to make her glove look like it could be connected to like a Bluetooth sci-fi screen. You know what I'm talking about, right? So take Athena Sykes from Ace Attorney, who can bring up a holographic screen and type on it with her glove, sort of in the same vein as that. I don't know if sci-fi stuff actually exists in JJ Doe's world, or if it's just fantasy and magic, but either way. As for her hair, I didn't want to make it blue and pink, because in my design I hadn't included blue elsewhere, so I didn't know if it had a place here, so I just left it as pink and purple. I think that looks okay. Maybe in hindsight I would have changed it all to be pink with one streak of lighter pink, but yeah, I hope that didn't disappoint. I'm gonna say that every time I finish a design. So next up is Andromeda by Kaihuntrr. She is an assassin that was involved in an explosion that damaged his body, meaning that she needed facial reconstruction. Said facial reconstruction allows him to disguise herself, and it also gives him some identity issues. So like with Spies in Disguise, I just love the idea of using a damaged face to be able to disguise yourself. So for example, Killian in Spies in Disguise, I don't know why I said the title twice. So for example, Killian from that movie had a damaged face from an explosion, but he used this holographic technology in order to disguise himself as the main hero, which was an interesting concept to play with. So naturally I really enjoyed this one. Even more so because there is a robotic arm involved, which I also love. So from what I've read, Andromeda is more of a loner than a leader or a follower, and she prefers to be on her own missions. I adore assassin characters, and one of my favorite tropes is two assassins getting along, which is what Kaihuntrr's OCs are about. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to draw the second one, but I would have loved to. Here he is. So redesigning Andromeda was actually pretty interesting because I am not usually used to this. As you saw with the other designs, I am more used to drawing collars and business-esque suits, and so this was a really lovely way to get me out of my comfort zone. I love Andromeda's sort of robe aesthetic. I don't know if they're called robes, they're probably not. I gave her baggy trousers because I don't think slim fit jeans would fit on this design. I didn't end up getting a full body of him, which is okay. Sometimes I can't find full bodies of my characters either. So when I was lining, I wanted to take into consideration that this is just a facial reconstruction of her, and I wanted to make his eyes like sunken in, just to... Why did I forget the word emphasize this video? So just to emphasize the fact that it's like a face mask, kind of like in Sally Face, where Sally just maintains the same expression because it's just a mask over top of his deformed face, or kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's endoskeletons, where you can see the outline of the eyes. I didn't know what kind of shoes to give her, so I ended up giving him like toeless, ankleless, no brim shoes, or I don't know what you would consider these. In the original design, he has these sort of dots against the outline of her jacket thing, and I wanted to replicate that all over the jacket. It's not a jacket, I don't know. Just to look like lots of gold embroidery. I wanted all the robotic parts save from the top half of his face to be the same color, so I ended up making it this dark brown, same with on the original design, that could go with the yellow. I love yellow and brown. Once again, yellow is such a hard color to work with, so it's all the more rewarding when it does work out. I hope it worked out for in this case. So I used the same yellow or gold to color in the embroidery, and then I moved on to using red. I don't know if it was just lighting in the original design, but it seems like she does have some sort of red on her. I also made sure to shade her face in a different way from how I shade most people's faces, so instead of giving him blush, I gave her reflections to show off that his face is actually prosthetics or robotic parts. So yeah, that is Kaihuntrr's OC Andromeda. Once again, I hope it didn't disappoint. Next, I actually decided to use one of the text descriptions that was given to me, and this proved a lot harder because I had nothing to go off of save for text, so it was kind of a challenge, but I enjoyed it all the same. This character belongs to Rowan.on.the.moon. So this is Erin Jackson. They are a magical girl-esque superhero based on King Arthur. That got me really excited, honestly, because I love historical myths, I love history, so King Arthur was just something I had to do on the first part. Unfortunately, I have never designed a magical girl, so I was a little bit confused and it didn't come out like a magical girl, but I still hope it was good in a way. So yeah, they are white with short brown hair and eyes that are bright gold when transformed. He has a crown of 5 gold spikes on his head. I love that idea, by the way. A red cape with gold edges. Oh my god, I just realized I forgot to give them gold edges on their cape. White armor with gold edges resembling a waist corset that also covers her forearms, hands, chest, hips, neck, shoulders, and forms her boots. She has a scar over their nose and another over their chin. Why did I forget the scars? I need to add these in post. So yeah, she has a scar over their nose and another over their chin and lower lip, and a sword with a gold hilt and a red blade at the base of the gem. I'm so unused to drawing armor that I had to use quite a few references from anime, especially since they were going for a magical girl look. Once again, I am completely unfamiliar with magical girls as a concept. I don't know what their designs entail, but I know that they're supposed to be in dresses. I wasn't sure how to make the frilly dress work with the knight aesthetic, so I just focused on the knight a little bit more, and I hope that's alright. But I did have loads of fun drawing the armor, so yeah. First, I wanted to do those gold lines on the armor because, yes, gold. And as I said, gold evokes ideas of royalty more than they do magicality. That's not a word. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know if the armor was at all accurate to how armor should work, but there you have it. There's my take on armor. Then I colored in the cape red, and I always love white and red and gold. I do end up adding blue in later because I think red, blue, white, and gold sort of have this patriotism to them. I wonder why. I didn't mean to evoke like American or British imagery. I mean, I guess I did mean to evoke British bits, but because King Arthur and all that. In hindsight, I wish I made the blue a little bit lighter so it didn't just look like black, but that's okay. Maybe it would have been too overbearing. I don't know why I gave him heels. I just really like the look of heels. I don't know if that would be impractical for a knight to ride into battle wearing heels, but I think magical girls do have heels, so I should be in the clear with that. Then I shined their armor? As if I was sat down there shining their armor manually like a blacksmith back in the day. Did blacksmiths shine armor? I don't know, anyways. So I made their armor shiny and I shaded in their cape. In hindsight, I should have added those gold edges, but here's me doing it in post. So yeah, there you have Aaron Jackson belonging to Rowan.on.the.moon. So last up for this video is The Creator from Soapy_arts. That's not technically their name, I don't know if they have a name, I probably should have asked. But their role is a creator that can add to something called the World Tree. They control golden strings and have no eyes, which is my favorite design trope. I love when something doesn't have eyes on their face, but they do on their hands. Love when that happens. I had a few characters of my own like that. I love it. They are a mischievous workaholic. I wish I could relate to that last word, but yeah. I don't know what it was about Soapy Arts' design, but with other characters, I always kind of know what I'm about to do with them before I redesign them, but for this one, my brain just looked at it and went, yep. Like, it confirmed the design. Like, what do you mean, yep? Then I realized when I was redesigning this, I wasn't actually doing anything new, I was just making fan art. So, like, this design sort of scratched my brain pretty well, to a point where I just wanted to keep it that way. I was kind of unsure of myself. I was wondering, what should I do? Because I like this design a lot. So you can see me experimenting. I gave them, like, tree branches in their hair to show off the world tree aspect of them. I gave them, like, leafed or feathered out clothes. And all of it was just me, like, being confused as to what I wanted to do, what I wanted to change. So, like, props, because I really like this design. Good job, Soapy Arts. I know I haven't been talking about what I've been doing the entire time because I've just been gushing about the original art, but yeah, I attempted to give them streaks through their hair, sort of meant to resemble, like, what, shooting stars, who knows. And I made their, like, bodysuit thing, I don't know what they're called, actually. I made it completely black, so to show off eyes on the body. I don't know if these would be, like, real eyes or just patterns on the clothing. Editing me here. I hope you don't mind that I skipped over the redesign. I just found out that I had nothing of actual substance to say. It was just me sort of repeating that I was very impressed with the original. I hope that's not taken in any kind of wrong way. So yeah, with this one, I hope it didn't disappoint. Props to Soapy Arts. So yeah, in the end, that was me giving my takes on 8 of these characters. Was it 8? Yeah, probably. I had so much fun with it, and I will be doing more. I just need to, like, get a rewrite out of the way, because I love rewrites. I don't know if you could tell by my channel, but that is my favorite thing to do. Subscribe and become one of my moons. If you like this video, I am building 70 statues in your honor, but if you didn't... This is floral underscore, I forgot what they were called for a second, floral underscore, this is floral underscore, it's so hard, why is it so hard to say that? This, you can see it, okay, floral fields OC.